Hey, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to paint a little bit of context real quick. So over the last 20 years, we've been in this space, and the first space that we arrived on, character development. And that's really separating who you are from what you do. So what we do with athletes is we ask them to pick 3 performance and 3 relational skills that they want to work on for the upcoming year. And to help them understand how that drives performance, we then ask them the question, if they get better at their performance skills, will that make them a better player? What do you think they say? It's obvious, right? And then we go to the relational side and we ask them to pick 3 relational skills. And we say, if you get better at those skills, will that make you a better teammate? What do you think they say? I've not had an athlete say no to that. And so if you become a better player and a better teammate, do you see how that will drive results? And the biggest lesson that we've learned around character development would be this. When athletes see themselves as players first, they are defined by the results. So they're only as good as their last performance, and they ride an emotional roller coaster. When they view themselves as a person first, they're defined by how they respond to the results, and that's fully within their control. Now, if you're going to view it that way, it's very different than how society views it, and that's what got us into priority alignment. And one of the things that we ask athletes is this question right here. How does society view your success as a player? Think about how you would answer that question. How does society view your success as a player? Here are the top 5 answers we see from athletes. Then we go and we ask them this question. What's important to you about life in general? We ask them to bullet point the first 10 things that come to their mind. What's important to you about life in general? Here are some of the most common answers we see from athletes. Once you have the list that you created that's deeply personal for you, we then ask the athletes to rank from 1 to 5 what's most important to them. And when you stack it next to society's scorecard, what do you realize? Completely different, right? And the higher the level you go, the more people start to focus on what? Your performance. And then you start to lose what? What's most important to you. It takes courage to live out your values. So think about your team that you're on. If I were to ask you the first 2 questions that I ask anyone, which is this, top 3 things that could get in the way of you all maximizing your ability, what comes to mind? What would you write down? And then if I asked you personally, what's your biggest personal struggle that not many people know about, what comes to mind? We give every team that I work with a sheet of paper that looks like this, and then we fold it in half to divide them, and I just want to show you a football team that I just did this with, and this is in order of the most common responses. This is the game now. This is what people need help with, and if you can help them navigate their inner journey, that will build trust and relational equity. This is how they answered the first question, and we tally marked what was most common. Think about the team you're on. Can you relate to this? This is your curriculum, and then we do meetings once a week to attack these things. All good with that? All right? So what we then do to try and illustrate why we're meeting, because it's so out of the norm for them, is we have them write on sticky notes their 3 challenges that will get in the way of the team. And then we have on a board 2 categories, human-related issues, sport-related issues. And we ask them to go put the sticky notes on which side that they relate to. And if you look at it, what? All of the challenges that get in the way of a team come down to what? Personal and interpersonal issues. And those are fully within our control. But a lot of people don't want to take time away from the busyness of what they have to accomplish to attack these things to create a healthy environment. Can we agree with that? So the question we started to ask ourselves is, what is the difference between character development and behavior management? Think about how you would answer that question. When we ask coaches, they say that character development is what? The long game. Behavior management is right now. Now, if I were going to ask you all, which is most important to you, if you think about your life purpose, developing the character of the people you lead or shaping their behavior? Show of hands if you would say character development. Okay, I want everyone to look around. Keep your hands up if you don't mind. Okay, that is not uncommon with the coaches that I work with. Here's the catch. If behavior management is right now, how you navigate the moments that catch you off guard is where trust is earned. And if they don't trust you, you have no shot at what? Shaping the trajectory of who they're becoming. And so what we believe is that we believe the environment is right now and culture is over time. And so we spend a lot of time focusing on what drives the right now because we know that the long term will take care of itself. One of my favorite quotes from an NBA GM when he was asked, "What is your job?" He said this, "To build an environment where people can do their best work." If I were to ask you from a leadership perspective, what is the most important thing you do to build an environment where people do their best work? What would you say? When we ask coaches that, it comes back to three things: how you define, manage, and model your expectations as a leader. How you define, manage, and model the vision. Defining is proactive. Managing is reactive. And modeling is all the time. My favorite tool for modeling is this. Anything you're asking of your team, you have to be the physical manifestation of that. So if you want your team to be in the moment, then you need to be in the moment. This is the tool that can provide a healthy, strong example to the people you lead. Anything that you're asking, are you signaling what that looks like in real life? And then the last one is self-awareness. A couple months ago, I started working with an athlete to prepare for the NFL draft. And I asked him what he wanted to get out of the sessions. Guess what he said? "I want to get to know myself better." And when I show that to other athletes, they nod their heads. Why do you think that is? Because when you're chasing excellence, what happens? It's so easy to become over-identified with what you do. And so if self-awareness is building a platform where people can get to know themselves better, we believe that question-based leadership development is building a platform where people can coach themselves better.